Herb is going to make,
He gets
Herb
you
is going to,
every
right,
time, Brian.
Herb is going to make the
He
claim.
cleans your
Right,
clock.
Herb, right. He cleaned my clock like you have an IQ over 20. Have a nice day, Herb.
Brian, I hope you're not done with me. I got a question for you, and then at the end, I got I'm going to praise you about something. I'm going to give you a comment.
Do I have to send you a check, Herb?
No.
Okay,
no, that's
good.
okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Listen, Brian, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about this new book that Jake Tapper and he was co-author of this book, Original Sin?
I think it's absolutely despicable. I think it's I've lost a lot of respect for Jake Tapper. I always had respect for him as a journalist, but sadly he's doing this for money. And I find it to be absolutely and utterly ridiculous and despicable. They're doing it. It's a money grab. Let's call it for what it is. It's a book tour money grab. They're doing interviews on CNN, and they're running while the country's going down the crapper. We're talking about Joe Biden and about how his health might have been deteriorating. Oh, well, he stumbled here and he stumbled there with a bunch of anonymous sources. I think it's despicable what CNN is doing. I think it's despicable what Jake Tapper is doing. Make no mistake about it. This is about money. Now, it would have been one thing if they actually did a report on it, right? Or if they did a 30-minute special on it. Even then, it would have been about ratings and making money, but maybe not as much. This is clear and cut. This is a book deal so that Jake Tapper and others at CNN can make money, and I find it utterly despicable and non-credible.
Well, I don't argue with you on that. There's no doubt about it. It's amazing. They're calling it one of the largest political scandals in this country.
Well, they can call it that so they can sell books, but who cares? I mean, there's people out there that say this is going to be the biggest book drop, on the planet. Melania Trump's got a book out, and it's going to be a tell-it-all. And who cares? Okay, the books are written in many cases to make money and to make headlines. They're a bunch of anonymous sources. Who cares if Joe Biden didn't recognize a famous actor? Who cares if allegedly Joe Biden was fumbling and mumbling? Who cares? First of all, he's not the president anymore.
Let me ask you this, though, Brian. Do you think that they should do an investigation on what was happening while he was in office and he wasn't able to, comprehend a lot of things? Do you think they should do an investigation now?
You didn't think he was able to comprehend a lot of things?
No, I'm saying based on the book, do you think they should do an investigation now on what was...
You have a bunch of anonymous sources. How can you do an investigation when you have no credible evidence? And by the way, Joe Biden...
No, they got people...
Hold on.
They have people that have come...
Who's come forward? Who's come forward? Besides a low-ranking intern and somebody as an anonymous source, and they haven't even given out his name. Can you name me one person of high ranking that has come out?
His chief of staff.
And what did his chief?
That he did.
And what did his chief of staff say?
There were some things that he said, and that was
what did he say?
That was on the news.
What did his chief of staff say?
Brian, I'm sure you're probably better aware of it than I am.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, there was nothing, and I'm telling you, when a man is in his early 80s, okay, and he might forget some things and might not be the same guy he was in his 70s, that is a very normal thing. Let me repeat myself. This is about making money. Jake Tapper and CNN, this is about making money so that people can talk about it and buy the book. It's despicable. I would say that about a lot of other books that are fictional. This is probably just another case of fiction versus fact. Joe Biden is no spring chicken. He's getting old. He's old. He's been old for a while. He wasn't the same guy he was 5 or 10 years ago. By the way, that's not a crime either, okay? Donald Trump is the guy that said less than a year ago, Donald Trump is the guy that said you need ID to buy bread. He said Jeb Bush got us into the war in Iraq. Donald Trump is the guy that said he defeated Barack Obama. Should an investigation be put into Donald Trump because some left-winger writes a book, or right-winger even that doesn't like Trump, writes a book about how, his health is and he's not mentally fit? I mean, come on. What are we doing here? I mean, it's insane.
Let me ask you this, Brian. It's been over 200 people, they supposedly anonymous, I agree with you, that have come forward and said some things that they said he wasn't even having cabinet meetings and things like that.
Okay, so you care about people that say things on the record and put their name out there. Is that a fair assessment?
No, I'm just Brian, I'm
just asking you a question, that's all.
This is the third book that has come out about Joe Biden and his incompetency to be president of the United States. So all I'm asking you is do you think there should be an investigation? Because
all right, well, hold on. Let me ask you a question. This is really important. This is a very important fundamental question based on what you're talking about. Now, you're right. There may have been a couple hundred people off the record. That means absolutely nothing to me. So when somebody like a General Kelly goes on the record, not an anonymous source, this guy goes on the record and he says he literally heard Donald Trump call our brave men and women in uniform suckers or losers. Why is it that you don't put any credibility towards that and you don't believe it? But if a couple hundred anonymous sources are spoken about Joe Biden in a book, somehow you think there should be an investigation. But when somebody is on the record and a general, a five-star general, says something that Donald Trump said about our brave men and women in uniform, you don't believe that. Explain that to me, Herb, please, if you can.
I'll explain it to you. Because there were 16 other soldiers, generals, that were alongside of Trump at that same time that said they never heard him say that.
So what about all the other people in Joe Biden? Okay, let's go there. Okay, so by your theory, if there are hundreds of people that were in Joe Biden's administration that are not saying his health was deteriorating, why wouldn't you believe them?
I don't know about those 100 other people.
Okay, so you're saying, hold on. So you're saying everybody in Biden. So you're saying everybody in Biden's. Herb. I need you to listen to my question. Herb, I need you to just listen to what I'm asking you. Let's calm down for a moment. So you're saying, Herb, that if a five-star general goes on the record and says that he heard Trump call them suckers and losers, but you have over a dozen people that claim they didn't hear it, it probably didn't happen. But if you have some people in Biden's administration that are claiming he was getting old, by the way, not one name has come forward of substance, and you have a bunch of people in his administration that do not agree, people like Pete Buttigieg, for example, people like Kamala Harris, you're not taking those people into account. But if people say something about Donald Trump and then you have other people that say they didn't hear it, you're putting, do you see the double standard, Herb? Do you understand what I'm trying to...
No, I don't see the double standard.
You don't see the double standard. Okay, you don't.
Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg and some of the people that were around him on a daily basis, they're not going to come out and say anything that they saw anything, because they were saying during the course of time when he was president, if you look back...
So Pete Buttigieg, I got you. So Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris... No, I understand what you're saying. No, I get it, Herb. No, I've listened to you, Herb. You're saying you're attacking the credibility of Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris if you don't agree with their narrative. But any narrative that's positive to Donald Trump, you agree and you put credibility to their narrative. But if a five-star general says that he said something, if it makes Donald Trump look bad, you don't believe he's credible. I totally understand you, Herb. You're not capable of listening to anybody who calls. By the way, can you explain to me why half of the people in Donald Trump's administration did not support him this time around? How about Mike Pence? Is he a lefty? Is he a liberal? Mike Pence. No, tell me. Half the people in Donald. Can you please? No. I'm asking you, Herb. I always prove you to be a hypocrite, Herb. I'm asking you a question. You're right. I always prove that you're a hypocrite. Can you speak to me why half the people in Donald Trump's administration, staunch conservatives like Mike Pence, have warned you about Donald Trump and they didn't support him? Are they not credible either, Herb? So half of his administration, are they not credible? Are they lefty liberals? Is Mike Pencil, as I would like to call him, is he a lefty lunatic?
Yeah. I don't know if he is or not.
You don't know.
The only thing I called about was whether or not Joe Biden was capable of being president.
Well, go ahead and buy the book. Go ahead and buy the book. If you think it's credible, go ahead and buy the book.
No, I'm not necessarily going to buy the book. I just wanted your opinion.
Okay, well, I gave you my opinion.
Can I compliment you on something
before
you hang up on me? Can I compliment you?
I can't wait.
Okay. I got to give you respect for having David Pollack on your show multiple times. This guy comes on your show, gives you a hell of an argument.
Well, that's your opinion.
And I got to give you credit. I'm surprised you keep having him on, because every time he comes on,
here it comes where you're gonna. No, I know exactly what's gonna happen. Herb is gonna make the claim. Right, Herb. Right. He cleaned my clock like you have an IQ over 20. Have a nice day, Herb. By the way, I've had Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on this show. I've had Caroline Levitt on this show. I've had Vivek Ramaswamy on this show, so I don't need your backhanded compliment. Oh, thank you so much for having David Pollack on. Like I need your backhanded compliment. Yeah, you saying that he cleaned my clock is like a MAGA caller calling in saying that you clean my clock every time you call in, Herb. By the way, your clock has stopped a long time ago.